Can you really turn a cheap piece of wood into something worth $150? It might sound impossible, but the truth is, it happens every day in workshops all over the world. Most people think you need expensive exotic wood to make big money. They imagine that only rare materials can create valuable pieces. But that's just not true. The real magic doesn't come from the wood itself. You can take a simple board from your local home center and transform it into something truly special, no matter your experience level. The secret isn't in the wood, it's in what you do with it. Your creativity and effort are what make the difference. Your skill, vision, and smart marketing matter far more than the material. Even the simplest wood can become a masterpiece in the right hands. Many new woodworkers get stuck thinking their projects are only as good as their materials. They worry that starting small means staying small. But a simple pine board holds just as much potential as a pricey slab of cherry. It's all about how you unlock that potential. The value is added by you, with every cut, every pass of the sander, every coat of finish. Each step you take adds character and worth. We're going to prove it, right here. We'll take a $10 board and turn it into a high-demand item people will pay a premium for. You'll see the transformation happen step by step. People don't buy a piece of wood, they buy a solution, a piece of art. Something that looks and feels good in their home. They want a story, a connection. Your job is to turn a boring plank into a beautiful, functional object. That's where the real value lies. So, let's get started. Forget the myth that you need a fortune to start woodworking. All you need is a little inspiration and the drive to create. All you need is a plan, a few basic tools, and the willingness to learn. Every expert started as a beginner, just like you. Ready to turn that $10 bill into a much bigger pile of cash? Let's do it. Your woodworking journey starts now. The first step to making a profit is choosing the right project. It's not just about what you want to build, but about what people are actually searching for and willing to pay for. This is where most makers go wrong. They focus on passion, not demand. Most people build what they want, not what people want to buy. If you want to turn your hobby into a business, you have to flip that mindset and start thinking like a customer. To make money, you need a project that's small, in high demand, and easy to ship. These qualities make it easier to sell online and keep your costs low while reaching more buyers. Think tablet stands, serving trays, minimalist wall clocks, or jewelry organizers, items people search for every day. These are practical, stylish, and fit perfectly into modern homes. The goal is to find a product that looks luxurious but is simple to make. When something looks high-end but doesn't take hours to build, you maximize your profit and minimize your effort. For this challenge I chose a bathtub caddy, a bath tray. It's the perfect blend of function and style, and it's always in demand. Why? They're popular, practical, and scream luxury and self-care. People love to treat themselves, and a bath tray instantly upgrades any bathroom. It's an emotional purchase, and people pay more for beautiful ones. When buyers see a gorgeous bath tray, they imagine relaxing evenings and a touch of indulgence. It's also simple to build, basically a board with a few special features. You don't need fancy tools or advanced skills to make something that looks amazing. Imagine scrolling online and seeing a rustic bath tray with a wine glass slot, a book stand, and a spot for a candle. It's the kind of product that stands out and makes people stop scrolling. You wouldn't wonder if it's made from cheap pine. You'd picture it in your bathroom. That's the power of great design and presentation. That's the reaction we want. We want people to feel excited and inspired by what they see. We're selling the experience, not the wood. It's about the feeling your product creates, not just the materials. Pick projects that fit this formula, and you're on your way. Focus on what people want, and you'll find profit comes much easier. Let's build. Time to make some sawdust. This is where your project truly starts to take shape, and you get to see your vision come to life right in front of you. We have our $10 pine board, simple, affordable, and full of potential. It might not look like much now, but soon it'll be transformed. First, cut it to about 32 inches. Enough to span most bathtubs. Measure carefully. Mark your lines. And make a clean, straight cut. Don't stress about perfection. We'll clean up the edges later. The important thing is to get a solid, workable piece to start with. Next, add features that make this a bath caddy, a slot for a wine glass, a groove for a book or tablet. These thoughtful touches turn a plain board into something truly useful. Drill a hole, cut a channel for the wine glass, and make a groove across the board for the book stand. Take your time with these steps for the best results. To elevate the look, round over the corners with a jigsaw. Soft curves not only look great, but they also feel better to the touch. These small details make it look custom and premium. It's the difference between homemade and handcrafted. Add feet underneath, small strips of wood glued near each end to keep the caddy from sliding off the tub. This simple addition adds both stability and a professional touch. Now, the board is starting to look like something special. You can see the transformation happening with every step. The transformation is in the details. Every notch, curve, and groove adds character and value. Every cut and curve adds value. It's these careful touches that set your project apart from anything store-bought. This is where a simple plank becomes a desirable product. You're not just building an object, you're crafting an experience. Cutting and shaping are about more than function, they're about creating appeal. The way your product looks and feels matters just as much as how it works. With the features in place, we're ready for the next step. The foundation is set, and now it's time to refine and perfect. Let's make it feel as good as it looks. The finishing touches will bring out the beauty and comfort in your creation. Sanding is what makes a project feel premium. Start with coarse sandpaper, 80 grit, to smooth out saw marks and rough spots. Move up to 120 grit, then finish with 220 grit for a silky feel. Pay special attention to corners and edges. No rough patches allowed. This is the step that elevates your project from good to great. Now the magic, the finish. Use a dark wood stain to give cheap pine a rich rustic look. Wipe it on evenly, then wipe off the excess. Instantly, the wood looks 100 times better, but since this is a bath caddy, it needs to be waterproof. Apply several coats of spar urethane, sanding lightly between each. This protects the wood and adds a subtle sheen. 3 coats build a durable, beautiful finish. Now look at it. Would you guess this started as a cheap pine board? The transformation is dramatic. The finish is where the real value appears. Let's talk real costs. The pine board cost $10.48. For this project, we'll count the full board cost, even though we only used a third. Consumables, about $1 in sanding discs, $0.90 in stain, and $5 in spar urethane. Total consumables, $6.90. Added up, $10.48. One for wood, $6.90 for supplies, $17.38 total. Round up to $18 to be safe. Even for a one-off project, that's a fantastic cost. If you made these in batches, the cost per caddy would drop even more. The key, know your true costs before you price your work. Now, let's see how to sell it. Creating a beautiful product is only half the battle. You have to sell it. Start with great photos. Use your phone, but focus on lighting and staging. Stage the caddy on a bathtub with props, wine glass, book, candle, bubbles. Sell the lifestyle, not just the object. List it online. Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, or your own site. Use a title with keywords people search for: luxury wooden bath caddy, rustic bathtub tray, spa gift. In the description, tell a story: relaxation, spa experience, features like the wine glass holder. Pricing: similar caddies sell for $80 to $200. I priced mine at $149.99, right in the premium range. This says, quality, handcrafted piece, not cheap pine. The listing went live, and within 2 weeks, it sold. That email notification, "You've made a sale," is one of the best feelings. Proof that your skills can create real value. Presentation and storytelling matter as much as craftsmanship. Now let's see the final numbers. Time for the final math. The bath caddy sold for $149.99. Etsy fees were about $12.50. Net revenue, $137.49, subtract our $17.38 cost. Final profit, $120.11. We turned a $10 board and $8 in supplies into over $120 profit. The lesson? People buy craftsmanship, style, and emotion, not materials. The buyer didn't care it was pine. They cared it was beautiful and well made. Your skill is the secret ingredient. You don't need a big budget or fancy workshop to start a profitable creative business. Be smart, focus on details, master finishing, and present your work well. Your creativity and effort are your most valuable assets. What will you make next? Let me know in the comments.